Let's have a look at my van today. So this is my van. It is a 2007 Ford Econoline E250. It is a 5.7 liter V8. And it's my little home on wheels. I've done extensive, not upgrades, but customization, I guess we'll call it, to make it my own and make it a adventure machine that can go anywhere. So when I first got this van, the roof rack up there, right there, was white and had these big horns that came off the end and little ladder attachments and all that stuff. So when I first got it, I stripped all that off. I got rid of it and I cut the horns off and made it basically a surfboard rack to hold surfboards. So these bumpers here, when I got the van, they were gray and they were rusted and they had some dents and dings in them. So I fixed them all up, took them out, removed the dents with help of my father, and covered them in truck bed liner to make them a little bit tougher. The back one, same thing, except for some reason it didn't adhere as nicely. And there's a few rust spots, so this will have to get redone later on. I plan on redoing this when I do the side. I'm gonna do the entire thing from this groove down, and the same thing, truck bed liner to help make it a little bit more weather resistant and last longer. So as you see here, it's been done already, but it's chipping off. And down here, the paint's completely gone and it's rusting. So I want to fix that with some truck bed liner. Some other things I did to the exterior. Let's go up top. I added a vent fan. I decided to go with the Max Air one that you can run when it's raining, just for those long, summer days when you're stuck inside the van. Even though it's raining, you still want to have some circulation. So that helps significantly. Also on top, as I mentioned, I spray painted this black to kind of blend in more, and I took off all the ladder attachments that were here and here and at the front as well, and cut the bull horns off, so now it's surfboard friendly. So here's another angle of the vent fan right in the middle there. Also up top, I added a CB radio antenna and two 100-watt solar panels. So these things really help me keep my battery charged. Another thing I added is a 52-inch light bar to the front of the vehicle for a couple reasons. One, I wanted to hide these solar panels which are behind it, as well as block the wind getting underneath the solar panels and making them flap on the roof. So it does that perfectly, and it lights up the area whenever I need it, so works out well. Another cosmetic thing I did is on the side of the van here, on the other side, and on the hood, I had a sun-faded Rogers wording and logo from their stickers that they had on the van previous. This was a Rogers van that has been retired. The years of service, the sun had faded in those stickers, so I buffed them out. You can still sometimes see them depending on the lighting. You probably can't see them in this video because I can't see them standing here. So I'm happy with that. They came out pretty well, and it made the van a little bit better looking with a nice cleaner paint job. So one of the last things that I did to the van cosmetically was I actually cut a hole in the side for this little vent right here. This vent is to vent the battery box that I have inside. They are lead acid batteries, so they're supposed to be safe, but to be on the safe side, I cut a hole in the side of my van and I vented them out the side. The last thing I decided to do was spray paint my tires, the hubcaps, a black color to make the van look a little bit better. Cosmetically, I'm happy with how the van looks on the outside. For a cargo van, it looks pretty good. So this is the driver's seat. These Ford vans have pretty much nothing as for entertainment. It's got a basic radio, doesn't even have a CD player, so in order to get any good music, I stream it to my JBL speaker from my phone. Over here I got a Garmin GPS. This sits there, it tells me where to go. Up here I got a CB radio, great for knowing if there's any traffic coming up. It's also great for maintaining communication if you're with anybody else, you're driving with a group of people. So it's nice to have that communication without having to call anybody. That sounds like it's coming from Pennsylvania. That's not bad. Over here I got two car 12-volt sockets. This one normally has a little mount for my phone. It's not here right now, it's in my other vehicle. So it's just got a USB plug with the cable, and then the GPS power goes in here as well. On this side I have two switches for the fog lights, which are on the front bumper, as well as the light bar, which is up top. As for driving, the vehicle drives actually relatively well. I mean, it's no sports car, but it gets me from point A to point B. It's relatively smooth, and it works well. So I'm happy with the way it performs. So this here is going to be my water storage. Up here there's going to be a sink. I've yet to install that, but soon that's going in there. So this is how my water storage system works. You pull it down. I got one jug, which is going to be for gray water. I have another jug, which will be for fresh water. So the sink will drain down into one of them, and the hand pump out of the freshwater tank. These are both going to be secured down using a ratchet strap. I installed 2 tabs down here that the ratchet strap will attach to. This right here is going to be my clothing storage. These top 6 holes are going to be for clothing. They go really far back. They're about maybe a third of the width of the van, a little bit over that. They go all the way back. In here I just have a towel, and in here is just a sweatshirt for now, and then the rest of them there's nothing. This here is where I plan to have the stove for storage. Again, that goes way back there all the way to the wall of the van. So down here is my electrical system. Right in the middle there is my solar charge controller. On the left there is the breaker switch, which shuts off everything inside the van. And over there is my fuse panel. Again, those fuse panels control everything that's inside of the van. So the lights, the CB radio, the fan, the 2 little outlets on the wall over there. So that's basically the brains of the electrical system inside of the van. Again, this is kind of mechanical storage. So I have a couple extra fuses, a broom, a ratchet set, and this box here is my sealed battery box. I wanted to save space, so I actually tucked it as far as I could forward, so it sticks out the side of this cabinet here. But I'm okay with that because it gives me a little bit of a shelf back there. Right down here is my mag light. That's just a emergency flashlight if need be. And then just behind it, right up top there, is a fire extinguisher. They're out in the open, they're easy to get to in the event of an emergency. Right over there is my 300 watt inverter. I will be getting a bigger one eventually, but that is the biggest one I have as of now. That white cable runs all the way to the back to an electrical outlet, and down the side to this outlet here. So I do have power on the outside of my van for lighting and things like that, which is daisy chained to this one on the inside. So this is the living space of the van. So I have a countertop over here, which allows me to prepare food, allows me to do work, allows me to just, you know, watch a movie, put a laptop up there, stuff like that. It's really nice to have a solid space, especially such a big one, because the benefit that allows me to do is I'm able to put one of these thermarests up here and have somebody else sleep on the countertop, which is nice to allow more people in the van. I also installed this pull-out drawer, which is great for a laptop, to do some work on here, to hang out, to do some writing, whatever I need to do. It's better than having to lean all the way over onto the countertop. It kind of pulls out onto my knees or just above my knees, and I can write no problem, or I can type no problem. It's super comfortable. It works really well. Down here I have drawer number 1. This is the cutlery drawer. Right now the entire van is empty because I literally just finished making it. It's still not 100% done. I need to install the sink, just some finishing touches, but other than that, it's pretty much good to go. I just haven't loaded it up yet. So in here I have the divider for the forks and knives and spoons and stuff like that, as well as other things around it. Some ink for my fountain pens. This drawer, I'm not sure what it's gonna be. Right now it's just got some miscellaneous stuff. I've actually written down literally everything I've done to the van. I've written down wiring diagrams. I've mapped out where in the ceiling there's wires, on which side of which joist, what type of wood I've used, what model my fan is, what model my CB is. Everything that I've done to the van has been documented so that if I ever sell it or in future reference I need to know, I can look back on this book and I can be like, okay, this is what I've done. Also in here is just a repair manual for full-size Ford vans. Super handy to have that, because it's a total engine breakdown. It's everything in the van documented already. I have just some sunscreen, some coffee, just some miscellaneous stuff in here right now. I have 4 cupboards in the van, 2 that are full-size floor to countertop and 2 that are half underneath the drawers. So on this side over here, I just have a backpack and a camera stabilizer. On this one over here, again, this is gonna be my food storage down here. Right now there's just some more camera stuff and a propane bottle and a camping cup for making coffee and things. But this is going to be my food storage, at least that's the plan as of now. Over here is my extension of my water storage tank system. So in here I have the Reflectix that goes on the windows. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for. This might just be for the Reflectix, but I would like to have a little bit better way of storing those so I can have more room for things, because there's not a lot of room in here for stuff. So you got to make sure that everything has a place and everything can get packed away nice and tightly to save on space. So right now I'm sitting on the bed. I don't have a mattress for it yet. I've not went and got that made. I cannot make that. Well, I probably could make that, but I'm just going to get somebody else to do it for me. I'm going to get a 4-inch thick mattress, and this is going to be a couch. So I'm going to have a piece that folds up against the wall. So you have a couch during the day for you to do work, hang out, make food, stuff like that. So it'll be nice, a nice couch. And then at night, this entire system pulls out. Comes all the way across into a full-size bed. It meets up with these drawers, just about an inch or two off them, and then it becomes about the size of a double bed. It's really nice, gives you lots of space, and it tucks away and hides away really quickly and really easily. Just like that, the bed is back to where it belongs, and it's tucked away. So another thing that I've done when designing this van is I knew that I wanted storage under the bed. I like to snowboard, I like to surf, I like to skateboard, and I need room to store those things. My big longboard is going to go on the roof. Obviously that's not going to fit in here, but I do have a shortboard which does fit underneath this bed along with my snowboard and my skateboards. I'm 6'4", so building this thing was a little bit difficult. I would have liked to sleep this way, but that's just not possible for somebody my size. So I had to build it a long way and leave this walkway in between with the bed expanding back and forth. It works out really well. So what I've actually done here is I put a lock on the end of the bed as well as the front. So nobody that comes in here is gonna have an easy time picking this bed up and stealing surfboards and snowboards and things like that out of the bed. They're gonna actually have to take the bed apart or cut the lock. So it's a little bit of a security feature. Obviously it's not foolproof, but it helps me sleep at night, I guess we'll say. So you gotta pick this side up. The other one's easier, it just flops over. And then the entire bed lifts up, and there's loads of storage all the way from the end of the van to the front dresser and things over there. So lots and lots of storage. It fits my snowboard and surfboard, other longer things like hockey sticks really well, and keeps them tucked away and kind of out of sight. So inside of the van I have 4 LED pot lights in the ceiling. These pot lights sit almost flush with the ceiling, but they're tucked away nice and low profile, so they fit in there good. They're controlled by a switch on the wall, which turns them on and off whenever one I need. They're really bright, so most of the time I just have one or the other on. I don't always put both on, so it works out well. So these little door pulls here I've made myself out of leather. I wanted something that you wouldn't bash your knee into or you know, stick out any more than it has to. Being such a small area, you have to make sure that you keep your space as tight as possible to maximize it. So I actually went out and bought some leather and made these little door pulls, and they work really well. They're super simple. Same with the drawer handles up here. They work well, so I like them. So my plan for this door panel here is I'm gonna take a piece of wood and a couple strings, and I'm gonna make a drop-down table that will work well for cooking outside at campsites and stuff like that, for a barbecue or a stove top of some sort. So on the back of the bed here, in order for me to be able to slide my snowboard and slide big long objects in, I put Velcro on the back of this patch here. So that instead of screwing it on and having to pick up the bed every time I wanted to put something in here, I could just take off this back Velcro patch and slide it in. Thank you for watching this video on my converted cargo van. I hope you enjoyed.